Alright, so I finished Expedition 33 recently, and I just want to say, in my 34 years of existence, this is the first time a video game has made me cry. Multiple times. And I don't just mean like choked up or teary-eyed. I literally had tears rolling down my cheeks because I was hit by a truck made of feelings over and over and over and over. I haven't played a game like this that has pulled me in this hard. I mean, this game is an absolute masterpiece and 100% my game of the year. I was immersed in such a way, especially during cutscenes and dialogue, that I completely forgot I was playing a video game. I was just along for the ride on this beautifully crafted experience. It was amazing. Now, I do want to preface by saying I don't usually play these turn-based JRPGs like Final Fantasy, Persona, Metaphor, and so on, but somehow this game managed to tick every single box for me. The storytelling, top tier. The music, oh my god, the music just blew my mind. The number of times I was in camp and I would just switch the music just because I wanted to listen to some other beautiful track. It was amazing. I don't usually care that much about music in games, but oh my god, this was so good. The dialogue, the voice acting, the environment, the visuals, the gameplay, combat, everything was just perfection. There's so many incredible story moments I want to talk about, but I can't without getting into major spoilers. So I'll just say that every character is beautifully written. There's so much depth to them. Each of them has a unique personality and backstory. They're flawed, scared, desperate. They make mistakes and bad decisions that lead to serious consequences. You're constantly reminded of the looming danger and what's at stake, but it's not just directly in your face. You feel that from the sheer desperation of the character interactions, the pain, the fear that they feel. And then the music, obviously, oh my god. The voice actors have done such an incredible job bringing these characters to life that it's just chef's kiss. Incredible. Every single thing about this game is just so good. They've seamlessly blended in the narrative and the gameplay without taking anything away from either. Every new area I visited was gorgeous and refreshing. The way exploration is handled made me want to check out every corner, and I'm the person who will explore every nook and cranny before moving on to the next stage. It's so well done that I didn't feel like it was a waste of time. They didn't fill the world with like bloated currency or just random junk. Everything you pick up will come in handy. Either it's a cosmetic or it's used for some kind of an upgrade. And vendors sell unique items too, so it's worth checking out new spots just to see what they've got. There are also some fun optional puzzles and obstacle courses with cool rewards, mostly cosmetic. The game also does a really good job of introducing new mechanics over time instead of just throwing everything at you all at once. And as I said, JRPG turn-based combat is generally not my cup of tea, so I thought I'd get tired of combat after a few hours, but nope. The more I played, the more I was hooked. One of the things I liked the most was the freedom to just play how I wanted. Want to fight ridiculously powerful mini-bosses that are way above your level, that will literally one-shot you if you mess up? Yeah, go for it. If you can dodge or parry like your life depends on it, which to be fair, it does, you can technically take any boss down. Now, speaking of combat, it is a huge part of the game. It's relatively simple, but has enough complexity to make it so the game never gets boring. I know a lot of people are not fans of quick-time events, but honestly, this game somehow pulls it off. I was always fully engaged in every encounter. Not dodging or parrying attacks often meant death, especially in the late game. And they did a great job adding in feints and animation delays to throw off your timing, which was both frustrating and incredibly satisfying once you managed to learn the timing of the attacks and actually survive really long sequences. And then we have the Pictos and the Lumina system. The amount of customization this offers is wild. Now, I'm not sure if there's another game that has done something like this before, but to me, this was the first time I've come across something like this, and I thought this was really cool. So you can get these Pictos anywhere, exploring the world, combat rewards, vendors, and so on. They have straight stat boosts and secondary effects, which affect your gameplay. Once you have a Pictos equipped and win 4 battles, which is indicated by these golden lines, it unlocks the secondary power as Lumina. Then it becomes this little game of juggling different builds depending on what Luminas you've unlocked and how many total Lumina points you have. I was constantly tinkering around with different builds and move combinations, so the combat never felt repetitive. Every single character has a unique playstyle and really fun once you understand their mechanics. For example, I slept on Ciel in my first playthrough because I didn't really care for her playstyle. But in my new Game Plus run, I'm focusing more on her, and I realized that she's an absolute powerhouse. She's the only character with no limit to her max damage. The way she works is simple. Certain moves build up charges called Foretell, while other moves consume that Foretell for stronger effects. And then there are these special moves called gradient attacks. This one does damage based on how much Foretell you've consumed up until now. So the longer the fight, the harder Ciel hits. To give you some perspective, even after perfectly setting everything up, I can hit for a max of 3 to 4 million damage with a single move with all of my other characters, but my strongest hit with Ciel so far has been 29 million. So almost 10 times harder than all the other characters. Now it does require some build-up, but when you do pull it off, it is so satisfying. And that doesn't mean the other characters are weak, it's just that every character has different strengths and weaknesses depending on their builds. Especially Monaco. He's a really fun character to play as well because you don't unlock moves for him the traditional way. I think he offers the most build variety and can easily plug in any holes on your team with how many different types of moves he can learn. Now, as for criticisms or feedback, I don't really have much except for the fact that my game crashed a lot. 18 times to be exact in my first playthrough. It's happened during cutscenes, combat, exploration, and even when I was just in the menu. It's usually not that big of a deal, except for the one time it crashed during a really long and challenging boss fight and the boss's health was at like 20%. So yeah, I was pissed. The only other feedback I would have is some kind of a visual indication when we're in the overworld to show that we've explored or cleared an area. There was a time when I took a break for 2 or 3 days and I came back and I couldn't really tell where all the places I had been to because I knew I went to a couple of spots and the boss was too hard and I was like, okay, I'll come back later, but I couldn't remember where that was. Otherwise, I have no complaints about the game. So basically, Expedition 33 is an emotional, stunning, and an incredibly fun experience. If you're even thinking about playing it or hesitant because this isn't your usual type of game, I would say just go for it. I can guarantee that you will not be disappointed. Easily one of my favorite games of all time now. So if any of you have already beaten the game or playing it right now, let me know your thoughts on what you think about the game and if you've been enjoying as much as I did. With that, thank you for watching. Peace!